So you look at the date here, this was a couple days ago. So $170,000 was the purchase. Assignment fee was $15,000. Hey guys, Zach Ginn here, Flip with Rick. I wanted to make this video today to answer a question a lot of people have been asking me lately, and that is, what do I do once I get a contract? Now, a lot of people think finding the cash buyer and closing is the hardest part. In my personal opinion, finding the deal and getting the contract signed is definitely the hardest part. You know, bringing the cash buyer through the house is very difficult, but I'm just going to tell you what you should do once you get the property under contract. So if you get them to sign your easy one-page PSA, purchase and sale agreement, now the clock's ticking for you. You know, once that due diligence and inspection period's over, it's up to you to find that cash buyer, or you're out of luck. And if you're in Illinois, it's a different story. So I'm gonna break down a wholesale that I did lately. You know, Rick doesn't like wholesaling too much. There's some properties where you're gonna have to wholesale. We actually had a property which I put under contract. I looked at it, the numbers were a tad too tight. You know, we like that $35,000 plus profit margin when we're looking at wholesales. And this one just seemed a little too tight and just not comfortable for us to do a wholesale. Now, one of the most interesting parts about the property was the HOA was about $370 a month, I believe. It was in a nice golf community, and it would have been really expensive to hold for 2 months. And we just didn't really see too much of a profit potential in it. So I decided we're not going to scrap this property. The price is good enough where a cash buyer, and I can have a little arbitrage in between what a cash buyer would pay and what I put under contract for. Not enough to buy it, put our own funds in it and risk it. It wouldn't be a home run. I would risk 20, maybe make 20 grand doing that wholesale if I did that route. It had a lot of problems and it would have been a lengthy rehab. So what I did was I sat out for a cash buyer. I have a cash buyers list. I called all of them. They didn't like the area. They thought the HOA was too much, and that was a problem. So I thought I was in trouble. So I had the property under contract for $170,000. I thought I was screwed out of this property. It was good. We had other wholesales going on, but this one was just in a weird area, and it was in a really expensive HOA, and I thought, what am I going to do? The good part was the seller actually lived in state of Florida, but they lived so far north, like 7-8 hours north, that they actually didn't live in the property anymore. And it was a cleaned out property that needed a lot of work, had a bad cockroach problem, and he didn't live in it. So what I did is got access to the property, put a lockbox on there, and I sought after every single cash buyer I possibly could. Did bandit signs, did the whole 9 yards. Couldn't really find much. Craigslist just has terrible people. I've come to accept that. I used to have good cash buyers on Craigslist 2 years ago, not anymore. And what I decided was I actually started just throwing bandit signs around the neighborhood. Now, it's a nice, pristine neighborhood, even more pristine than this neighborhood. It's crazy thing going on, gated community. I just started sticking white bandit signs by the house, in front of the house, everywhere. And lo and behold, I found a person that lived in the neighborhood. He lived in this crazy 7-bedroom mansion type thing in the neighborhood. It literally insane. This crazy Victorian mansion style thing right by the clubhouse. It was insane. And the property I was a 3-2 with like 1900 square feet. And he thought, hey, I can make some money flipping this property. So I let him in the property. He looked at it and he said, let's make a deal. So I drove over there, got my assignment of contract, and I went over with him. He was really hung up on what price he was going to buy it on, and he was worried I was going to make too much money on the assignment. And I told him he shouldn't worry about it. He should worry about him making money on this flip. He eased off of that, and I showed him everything. So I just had to condition him a little bit. I told him, you're using my title company, you're giving me a deposit today, and then you're going to make a lot of money on this flip. So I did that, and I will break down what on this contract, but basically it's a $15,000 assignment fee. Nothing too crazy. You know, it might have not been a deal at all. It was too tight for a wholesale. I think I would have made maybe $20,000 on a wholesale, and we put our own funds into it. It seemed a lot riskier. So let me see if I have somewhere I can show you this. Bear with me here. Okay, so I'll show you this here. So you look at the date here. This was a couple days ago. So $170,000 was the purchase. Assignment fee was $15,000, and they gave me a $3,000 deposit. That's how much they would have owed at the closing. You can see here. So assignment of contract was done. Let's see. And Zach signed that the 4th, which the time of this recording was probably about a day or two ago. So that's very interesting. And then if you look here, you have a $3,000 deposit that they gave to, I really can't show their bank information. Let me take this away. Okay. But they get a $3,000 deposit. They're gonna buy it in 7 days, so we're gonna close very soon. I'm gonna record a video showing you about the title companies, but I conditioned that, just showing you a little quick story of a wholesale to show you what you really should be trying to do once you get a property under contract. I could have panicked and just got rid of the deal, but I kept hammering it, and we got the $15,000 assignment. Nothing too crazy, but hey, it pays for the marketing, right?